Anna, if you are a professional, then you are already thinking about how do you want to improve on your results this year. Maybe get your first results, maybe achieve something big, overcome a plateau, whatever it is. I want you to position yourself to win in 2019. And the smart money is on those that start right now. Let me lay out the game plan for you that I've used to scale and improve my business year upon year upon year. It's tried, tested, proven and foolproof. I'm going to teach it to you right now for free. So let's get comfy, get ready to take some notes, and I'll be back in a second. Hey there, welcome back. Let's dive straight into your proven 2019 MLM game plan. It's definitely a powerful one that I've followed for years and years and years. So every single year, I recommend that you have first things first. This time next year, if I was to call you up and say, hey buddy, has it been a successful year? What would need to happen for you to say yes? I think that's a powerful way to set a goal, right? Because success means different things to different people. What needs to have happened? Do you need to have bought a certain property so you can create amazing memories with your family? Is it a certain car you've always had a picture on your wall since you were a kid? Is it giving a certain amount to charity? Is it being able to have the time away from your job because you've retired from that job, retiring somebody else from a job? What is the biggest thing that if you could knock that out the park, this time next year, you pick up the phone and you go, I've been waiting for your call. I smashed it because this happened. I achieved this. And once you've set that goal in your mind or written it down, if you've got the time to do it right now, definitely do this later. If you can't do it now, give it a financial figure, because it's going to take a certain amount of money to buy that house, to get that car, to retire from the job. Money kind of oils the machine of this big goal. So set yourself a clear financial monthly income that you're going to need to be earning by this time next year so it can make that goal a reality. Now, the reason I want you to do this first and the reason why it comes first, think about it. How many times have you sat down at your laptop and been like, oh, okay, I'll work on this project. Oh, no. And let me go answer these emails. Oh, no. What about this product I was going to sell? Oh, what about that other company I was looking at? And you get all over the place. If you have one goal, and you're going to see how over these next few slides, we start to point everything honed in like a ninja, laser focused on this goal. It gives you clear focus. It makes it easy to create a game plan because there's one outcome. It reduces your procrastination because you can't go in 50 different directions because you know the one direction you're heading in. And that's going to give you an energy and a passion that perhaps you lack right now. And a confidence. Okay, it's clear. I am definitely, as my wife says, on the spectrum when it comes to being a control freak. I need things to fit. And if I can have this goal with this clear plan, with this clear direction, it feels comfortable for me on the inside. Like I'm like, okay, yes, this fits. It makes sense. And I want you to feel that way in your business. Confidence is a big issue. So now you have this year goal. This is what you're going to be earning this time next year per month. So I want you to break that down into 4 quarters. The final quarter is obviously the year. That's your ultimate goal. So let's say, for example, if you wanted to earn £15,000 a month by this time next year, maybe your first quarter is 8,000. Second quarter is 10. Third quarter is 12,000 a month. And the fourth and final quarter, which would be the year, would be 15,000 a month. See, this is going to allow you to focus on your goal quarter by quarter. You don't have to feel like it's an age away, right? Oh, yeah, so much could go wrong. So much could go right, I would say, but I get you, right? There's a lot of variables in that period. But if you can chunk out 3 months of your time, how quick has the last 90 days gone? Right? It's a lot quicker than 12 months, right? 350 odd days, right? 365 days, sorry. So you can really chunk this into 3 months. And you know that if you hit the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter, that's your yearly goal done. It makes it more achievable. It makes it closer. And what I want you to do with these 4 quarters is I want you to align them with a date in your diary where you're going to take some time off. If you've got the money, you know, I like to book a vacation. So we go and do an amazing experience every single quarter. Okay, I've got mine booked in already. If you don't have the money to do that, think of something else you could enjoy. Is it just taking a break from your 9 to 5 job? I'm going to book a weekend off work and we're going to do some fun stuff, go for a walk, spend time with the family, watch a movie, whatever it may be for you. Is it go and visit a friend you've been wanting to visit for some time, or have them visit you? Like, what is that experience? Maybe you're going to go do something for charity. You take some time off and you go and give back. I don't know. Whatever it is for you, have that date in the diary. And don't worry if, you have to go a week or two either side of the quarter, right? Like I obviously I have a daughter, Ava. She's 8 years old. She's at school. So we respect the school holidays. So that means that my quarters are in alignment with the closest school holiday, because that's when we can take time off. So it's okay to do that, as long as they're roughly every 3 months. And what this will do is it will give you accountability. Like I do, when I look at my date, the first one is the 6th of April, right? 6th of April, I know that the project that I have got down to be completed at that date has to be done. Has to be done because I said so. And the only reason it won't get done is because of me, and I don't fail. So that's my expectation of myself. So I say that's the date, that's the income goal. Here's the plan, which I'll help you build on the next couple of slides. So I know that the plan is, trust your thinking right now. While you're level-headed, while you're listening to my advice, this is a plan that has worked for me for 7 years on the bounce. So it works. That's not up for debate. The only debate is, will you work it? So I want you to trust the thinking you've got right now. We're going to create this plan together. You're going to have the dates in the diary. And if you know that that plan is going to get you to that quarterly goal, you should feel empowered with that, because you're in total control. It's going to allow you to bring things to completion. It's going to allow you to focus. It just makes sense. So now let's move on to creating a plan. Who do you need to be? Not what do you need to do. Who do you need to be worthy of someone to hit that first quarterly goal? Let's say your first quarterly goal was 10 grand a month. So what kind of skills, what relationships, what habits, what characteristics, if I can say it, does a 10,000, a 5-figure a month earner, what do they have? I can tell you, because I passed that years ago in my business. And for me personally, I needed to look at another level of organization. I needed to increase my skills in communication, because I'm naturally an introvert. I realized that I came across as rude when really I just didn't know how to communicate with people. So I bought a book, How to Make Friends and Influence People. I started to purposefully set goals with my plan and say, okay, I'm going to go and socialize once a week until I feel comfortable around people. Okay, what relations did I need to get rid of? There were some toxic relationships. I had to go have a conversation with some people and say, you know what, this year I'm going to hit these goals. I can't do it with your constant negativity. I had to just be honest with these people. What habits? I was watching too much TV. Every single night, 3 or 4 hours of TV. Is that what a 5 income per month earner does? Every time I looked around at someone who was earning what I wanted? No. So I had to change that habit. What characteristics? I needed to be confident. I needed to be a little bit more giving in terms of putting content out there, thinking about other people more. I needed to, be mindful of my appearance. I'm big into sport. I was a fitness instructor before I became a network marketer. So everywhere I went, I was always in tracksuit bottoms and a training top, because I was always going to the gym or coming back from the gym. But that came across as scruffy to a whole group of people who I wanted to sponsor. So I had to make sure when I was on camera or when I was on social media, I'd smarten myself up. A shirt with a collar or a fitted t-shirt, decent trousers, jeans, the whole shebang, right? Make sure my beard was trimmed, make sure my hair was styled. So that the kind of people who thought that was important saw me and respected me in that way. So make a list of these things. Skills, where do you lack and what do you need to get? Relationships, which ones are good ones you need to put more time into, which ones are bad ones you need to have a conversation. Habits, where are your bad habits that you can remove and replace with more positive ones? Reading 10 pages of a book a day, getting a coach, buying a product, plugging a gap in your weakest link, right? Characteristics. If you were going to try and sponsor you, if you were trying to be a 10 grand a month earner, what would you say to yourself? Well, you'll never get there because you need to improve this. You're in control. You pull the strings. And then professionally, once we're taking care of ourselves personally, professionally, build an aligned strategy. Have numbered activity goals. And I'm going to give you some areas you need to number these things in on the next slide. I believe it's the next slide. Yes, it is. So I'll come to that in a second. But I want you to start to think right now of a professional strategy that you're going to build week in, week out, each of those quarters. Should you be using video and have been putting it off for some time? Get that YouTube channel up. Should you have a podcast because you're more comfortable with voice and you just couldn't be bothered to do the initial setup? Get it done. Should you, be prospecting more? Have you not taken care of having a decent presentation that you put in front of people? Like, what are the numbers you need to do in those particular areas to make this work for you? These are non-negotiable. Have a morning routine. If you get up, the day's going to run you or you're going to run the day. How do you know the destination if you don't have the coordinates? A morning routine will set your coordinates. It will allow you to align yourself with your best self. If you want a little quick overview of mine, I take 10 breaths and I relax myself because I'm quite an anxious person. So I want to relax myself first, give myself a nice blank canvas. I look at my vision board. I have affirmations. I write down my goals. Also non-negotiable. Plan tomorrow today. We'll see what happens. That's how amateurs and losers talk. That sounds like the talk of someone who isn't serious about hitting a goal. If you're serious, then plan tomorrow today. What are you going to do between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m.? 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 midday. What are you going to do? One of the biggest, clearest, useful pieces of information I can give you to hitting a goal this time next year, having a game plan, is to know what you're going to do every single day. To have that time planned out, to be useful with your time and productive with your time and leave no wiggle room to procrastinate. That's what you do when you do that. And then every single week, review your results. This drives me crazy. What is the most fruitful activity you're taking part in your business right now? Do you even know? What is sucking the time and energy away from you, and although you think is working, actually isn't bringing any tangible results? I bet you don't even know. I spent blinking ages engaging on social media, and this might not be the same for you. You may be better at this than I am. You may want to be better at this than I am. I'd take an hour or two every day. I'd go and comment on stuff. I'd go and like stuff. I'd go and try and get people back to my page. It took forever. And then I actually looked at my engagement and I was like, if I don't do this for a day, it tanks. And what actual business am I getting from these activities? I'm like, nothing. I'm getting a whole bunch of people that just want to chat and don't want to do anything. I'm like, well, so let me get this straight, Richard. That's how I talk to myself. I'm like, you are putting the majority of your time into an activity that is stopping you from doing, getting results, and it's surrounding you by more people who are like this barrier, this buffer, distancing you further and further from the action takers. Are you stupid? Stop doing it. And I only realized that when I started to do a weekly review. What worked this last week? What didn't work? How can you do more of what worked? How can you remove what didn't? If you do that every single week, and I bet you're not doing it right now, how much quicker? Can you imagine in 90 days? That's like what? 4, 8, 12. That's 12 reviews. That's 12 times you would have played to your strengths and removed your weaknesses. You would be in so much better shape in only 90 days from now if you just took this one game plan tip and did it right now and every week for the next 52. So let me give you some specific strategies. Everyone's like, well, how should I build a strategy? It needs to be around these 5 areas. Lead generation. If you don't know how to position your product, your business, your brand in front of an audience that wants it, you are not going to get any money. They are not going to magically fall from the sky. So how do you want to generate leads on a daily basis? Give it some numbers. Like I said aligned, I said numbered activity goals. How many leads a week? How many leads are you going to generate this week, next week, the week after, by that first quarter? And then conversions. How many of those leads are you going to convert? Leverage those two. How are you going to inject leverage into lead generation and conversions? What skills you need to improve to make these goals a reality? And then improve and remove every week with that weekly review. Let me give you a bit of a worked example so you can kind of put some meat on the bones for yourself here. So let's say you decide this week you're going to generate 7 leads. You never generated leads before. You're going to generate 7 leads by this time next week, a brand new lead every single day. So that leads you to the question, well, how? Well, I reckon if I put a YouTube video out there on Monday, And I reckon if I put a Facebook post out there once a week every day, I reckon if I prospect 5 people a day, I can generate 1 clear lead every single day. Okay, so what should the Facebook post be about? What should the YouTube video be about? Where am I going to find the people to prospect? Okay, I'm going to prospect people on LinkedIn, which I recommend you do, by the way. I'm going to create a YouTube video on something my target audience has been asking me for a while and I've never dared to answer. And my Facebook post, you know, if I look at myself and review, I'm being a bit too salesy. Maybe I should just go with lifestyle this week. There you go. Now we go, okay, Monday, create YouTube video and post on Facebook. Tuesday, edit and upload YouTube video, post on Facebook, prospect 10 people. So now we can start to do what I said on the previous slide, right? We can start to really get a clear strategy. Now we know that if we're breaking these down on a week-by-week basis, we can keep on growing them to that quarterly review and goal. How can you leverage those two things? Okay, the YouTube video worked. Well, how about when I sit down to create a YouTube video, why don't I chunk my time and I'll sit down and I'll record 4. And I'll publish one every other day. All I need to do is sit down and record these videos once a week. And I can edit, upload, and schedule them once a week. And I can now have 4 videos out there because the first one worked well. Okay, 1 Facebook post a day is working well. Why don't I try and do 3? It'll take me maybe an hour and a half. I'll sit down, I'll do something like Hootsuite, and I'll pre-schedule all the social media posts this week. So now you're actually working less, because the think time and the preparation time is only once, but you've got more output of the things that are working. Now you can start to leverage. Now you go, okay, conversions. How can I actually convert these leads I'm generating into sales? Well, a lot of people aren't joining because they're telling me because you should be asking them. They're not joining me because they don't believe they can create income like I have or like my upline has. So how can I overcome that? Why don't I create a video? Maybe I interview my upline and I show how poor he was when he first started, or she was, or where they began. Maybe I share my story in amongst that interview and we put together a little simple game plan about how you can make a profit in your first 3 days. Like, do that kind of video. And maybe I'm going to put that in a sales funnel because now we're moving on to leverage. So now I'm going to build a sales funnel that has them opt in, shows them this video, and then gets them to schedule an appointment with me if they want to find out more. Now where are we? Now you are focusing your efforts on the lead generation. You're understanding what conversions are going to take place, and you're leveraging your time. Can you imagine if you did that this next week? You set up 4 YouTube videos, 3 posts a day on social media. You had a video out there that would help with the major obstacle and objection that you're receiving, overcome that. And all of that was done in 1 sitting. And now all you needed to do was point people towards the front of this funnel. This is what I do on a daily basis, right? All of a sudden you're clear, you know what you're doing. Well, I can't do that, Richard, because I'm not skilled enough on video. Well, you can is that permanent? Could you not go out there and actually record a few videos for your team members or for your upline and get some feedback on that and then be good enough to do one by the end of the week? Yeah, you could. Well, I don't know how to build a sales funnel. I want to use Facebook ads. How do I use Facebook ads? How do I create a podcast? How do I do these things? Well, get a course. You can go to richardmatharoo.com/webinar and get educated on network marketing using sales funnels and building it online straight away. That's how I went from 328 no's in a row to 700 yeses, sponsoring 700 personal people. So the skills are out there for you to learn. Get a coach, do whatever needs to be done, and then improve and remove every week with that weekly review. What do you need to improve upon? What can you remove because it doesn't work? So let's go. Like, a lot of people go, is that it? Yeah, listen, success in network marketing isn't easy, but it is simple if you want to make it. What's hard and what's complicated is you sticking to the plan, if you're honest, just like I had to be a few years ago. It's like, why do I feel like my work ethic and my skills aren't in alignment with my income? And I'm like, that's because you're not implementing enough, Richard. You're daydreaming, you're pulled all over the place, you have many great ideas in this book and notepad of yours, but how many did you actually bring to fruition? So this is where the yearly and the quarterly goals came to me. Okay, I'm going to do this. Then that means I need to do that. Give it some specifics, and it really works. So now, if you followed this strategy, if you follow this game plan, you will have a clear goal, a clear strategy, clear habits required to deliver on that, weekly reviews and improvements, clarity and accountability. It's simple. It isn't going to be easy. It's going to take everything that you've got, But if you can keep yourself honest, if you can focus, if you can create, as an extra tip, an environment which I've helped you do here that is conducive towards your success, you're going to win. Because what you've done here is you've removed distractions. You've taken a look at yourself and your skill set. You've taken a look at what needs to happen, and we can put this into a clear plan that is broken down quarter by quarter by quarter. And if you do that, you'll hit that yearly goal. And this time next year, when I probably make another video like this, you can watch it, you can chuckle, you can go, yes, I smashed it. What else have you got me to eat up here, Richard? I'm going to eat up another goal. I'm a goal hunting and crushing machine. And that's what I want for you. Okay, that's what I want for you to be able to do that. So here's some recommendations for you. Moving forward, build a personal brand and a list. Make that part of your strategy. Have your brand sit in front of your MLM so it's safe and secure. Build multiple streams of income. You want to have your MLM, but you also want to have personal products, affiliate products, and high-end coaching for definite. Lean on systems, tools, and others' knowledge. Take a look at that webinar or whatever it is you need to look at to increase your skills. Don't try and code everything yourself. Don't be egotistical, not in a brash way, but I mean, don't be narrow-minded is probably a better word. I used to want to do everything myself, for myself, by myself, so I could feel worthy of the success. That's stupid. You can't be an expert in every area. So I don't try and build websites myself anymore. I use a tool, a system that does that for me, or I do it with it, but it's simple. It reduces my workload. Okay. Where are the corners that you don't need to cut, but you can fold and make more smoother, iron out some creases by leaning on other people's knowledge, systems, and tools. If you do those things along with this game plan, you are a long way to achieving your goal. I'm actually excited for you. You should be too, excited for what you can achieve this time next year. We both know you have more potential inside of you than your current results are showing. We both know if you can stick to a strategy while your thinking is clear right now and follow a game plan, that you would do really, really well. Have confidence in the system, have confidence in this game plan, and have some confidence in yourself. Go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires and excuses. And I hope this has helped you in some way. Stick me a comment, stick me a like if it did. And I'll love to see you in another video really soon. Bye for now.